You look out into your garden in July and it's buzzing with life. The harvest is starting to come in thick and fast. And you might be thinking, well, that's it. That's the end of the sowing season. But what if I told you you are completely wrong? Right now, it is one of the most exciting and crucial times to be a UK gardener. Let me just stop you there. There is a chance that you might not see me again. So if you subscribe below, you'll avoid missing my future content. Let's go on with the video. The sun is high and the soil is warm, and I can't blame you. It almost feels like you've missed the boat and you've missed all of the sowing season. But I'm here to tell you that July is a crucial time for second planting, and you've certainly not missed the boat. Think of it like this. This isn't the end of the season. This is simply a start of a new season. And in this video, we'll take you through sowing in July, what we'll be planting, and crucial steps to take during this month to ensure that you have a successful autumn and even winter. So let's get going. Before we get stuck into what we'll be sowing, I want to talk to you about a very important concept called succession sowing. This might sound like a technical concept, but just think of it like this. It's like a relay race. Once one vegetable finishes or planting finishes, the next one starts. So this ensures that you have continuous harvests and ultimately a more productive garden. When one crop finishes its lap, the next one's ready to take on the baton and start running from there. Just look at this bed here. Only around a month ago, we had lots of luscious lettuce leaves. Now it's starting to become very overgrown. Additionally, the lettuce themselves have started to bolt, and what this can lead to is more bitter leaves. And what needs to happen, they need to change. So it's the end of this cycle and the start of a new one. Now you might say, if you dig up those plants, what's going to happen is you're going to leave prime real estate for more sowing. And you're correct. When you dig up plants or just get rid of them and change them, you are creating more space to plant more things. And this is the perfect time to start doing that. Because why would I leave this space empty for the next season? No, the right thing to do is to succession sow. By succession sowing, you're attempting to avoid that feast and famine phase so many gardeners suffer with. So this is where you plant 10 lettuce, you get a whole harvest of lettuce, and then you have periods of no lettuce at all. By doing this, ultimately you are creating a more sustainable garden and ultimately more sustainable harvests. And that's where July comes in. July is the engine room for succession sowing. So if you haven't already started, now's the time to start. And the great thing is, as the soil is nice and warm, things will grow quickly. So there's little need for propagators. Additionally, there's little need for heat mats in this season. Right, so first things first, I'm going to start with growing a lot of quick things that will mature quickly and give me harvest very quickly. Going back to our example earlier, think of this like sprinters. These are your sprinters in your vegetable patch, not the marathoners. And these type of sowings are perfect for planting in any type of patch that is bare. You don't want to be leaving bare patches of soil. So in July, starting with tight-hearted lettuce can only lead to tears from my experience. What I would do is to sow a more come and go variety. So what this means is you're not actually planting the lettuce to harvest the heart of the lettuce. What you're doing, you're taking the outer leaves away from the plant itself, allowing it to continue to grow from the center. And ultimately, these are generally less prone to bolting as opposed to your tight-hearted lettuces that you're actually trying to just harvest an entire lettuce all at once. And given the heat conditions at the moment, one of the key aspects for me is to plant in module trays. Now I'm going to plant multiple seeds per tray, but ultimately this will give me a better chance of actually getting germination as well as me managing the watering a bit better, which is very crucial when it comes to sowing. So next up is radishes. So this is a crucial crop for me, as what can happen is you can plant it and harvest within weeks. So it's a great crop to have and it's very easy to sow and ultimately get a harvest from. Some other great varieties to plant during this time of year can be perpetual spinach. Now remember, the key with all of these sowings is to sow little and often. So try and sow every 2 to 3 weeks. This way you have a constant supply, and if any one of those sowings fail, you have another one coming shortly after. Planning for the cooler months. So let's move on to the larger bed. While salads are like a quick snack, it's also a crucial time in July to sow for the winter and later months. And these will form our main crops for autumn and the winter period. First on my list is carrots. So this is a perfect time to start sowing your carrots for an autumn harvest. One of the key tricks with carrots is to create a fine tilth. What does this mean in simple terms? Well, you're basically breaking down the soil into little small pieces instead of having large chunks. When large chunks occur, that's when the carrots tend to split and form multiple different roots, and ultimately leading to smaller carrots and also misshapen carrots. So that's a crucial step. Additionally, it's critical to keep the carrot seed and the soil around it nice and moist during the germination phase. This is the number one killer of new seeds, and ultimately keeping it nice and moist will only improve germination. How to do that? Well, one of the key ways to do that is once you've watered, to cover it up. So using a bit of wood or a plank that you might have, and this should keep the soil and seed itself nice and moist. If it ends up drying out, it will most likely die. But it's also critical that you remove the plank or the covering as soon as you start to see green shoots and germination occur. Next to carrots, I'm going to sow beetroot. So beetroot are a great crop. You can either harvest it for the leaves or you can harvest it for the roots itself. I've got actually a sowing guide for beetroot in another video that I'll make it nice and easy to find in the video. And beetroot is a great vegetable. It's very dynamic and diverse and a great thing to grow in any garden. Another important job for July is to secure the food for the winter months. So here I'm talking about brassicas. So we could be talking about purple sprouting broccoli, we could be talking about winter cabbages, or even kale. These form the backbone of what we could eat and harvest in the winter period. So in ideal scenarios, you would have probably sown these back in May or June. So does that mean that we shouldn't sow them or try and grow them this year? Absolutely not. So that's why these garden centres sell seeds that have already been partially grown. And this is a great time to utilise them. So if you haven't already sown them or grown any brassicas, simply pop to your local nursery and see if they have any in stock. Whether you're planting out your brassicas, ones that you've grown from seed or ones you bought from the store, the concepts used are broadly the same. Now, brassicas love firm soil, so when you plant it, make sure it's securely pinned into place. Imagine a tent in a storm. If there's lots of wind, lots of harsh conditions, and you have no pegs into the ground, it's going to blow away. Brassicas are much the same. They don't like being battered by wind, they don't like being disturbed, so you want to make sure they're very firmly fixed to the ground. Additionally, I don't think it's worthwhile in the slightest even attempting growing these vegetables if you're not going to protect them. The same with carrots. Carrots suffer with the dreaded carrot root fly, and my cabbages previously have experienced heavy attacks by birds, specifically pigeons. Now, the best way to protect against these pests is to use physical barriers. So whether that's a mesh, a net, of course, if you're trying to protect against something smaller, you're going to need a finer net to protect against it. A pigeon, I can use wire to protect against a pigeon. Wire is not going to protect against a fly, it's far too small. So just know your pest to protect against it. Every gardener asks the same question in July. Is it too late to sow this? Is it too late to sow that? Now, I'm going to tell you today that you can probably try and sow anything you want, but will you get a harvest at the end of it? Not necessarily. Now, if we're looking at things like chilies, tomatoes, cucumbers, it's probably too late to even start these if you haven't already. You can always go to a nursery to see if they have any in stock. But there are still some things we can look to plant that we might get a harvest out of. These could be things like runner beans. These could also be things like peas. The great thing and the thing I like about peas specifically is you might not get peas pods from it, but what you can always get is shoots. Shoots are great additions to any salads and definitely worthwhile growing if you haven't already. So, July is all about managing expectations ultimately. You can for sure sow some different vegetables and get started on your winter crops. So there you have it. Far from being a quiet month like you thought it might have been. So it's a month for looking forward, filling gaps, and ensuring we have long harvest periods. And July, in my opinion, forms the foundation and backbone of having a successful winter period. We've sown salad leaves and radishes for quick turnarounds. We've then sown winter crops, which hopefully are marathon runners. They're the longer term crops that we hope to harvest in a few months, and also trying to protect against things like soil erosion through trying to fill up our beds and keeping the soil covered. But I would love to hear what you're sowing this month. What are your must have crops for late harvest? And it's always brilliant to share different ideas. And just let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video useful, please leave a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe. For now, get outside, enjoy the warm soil, enjoy the life that's in the garden, and don't forget, July isn't just a month for relaxation and harvest, it's a month also for preparing for the winter and ultimately making sure we have a great year for gardening.